So we are in module 4 and we are continuing our discussion on uh, multivariable multivariable optimization algorithms. And today we are going to discuss uh, Powell's method, or which is also known as conjugate direction search. Okay, so I hope you have understood the previous method, which was Hooks and Jeeves method, in which uh, this method is also known as pattern search method. Okay, so here you could see that in this method we have exploratory search, which is followed by a pattern search, and then again exploratory search. Okay, so this way this pattern search method uh, is completed. Okay, so today we will discuss about Powell's method, which is you can say an extended version of your pattern search method, or you can say it is a new method, but certain steps are in common with your pattern search method. Okay, so since this method was in terms of steps, it was a bit complex, so I could found a flow diagram to explain this method, which is known as Powell's method. Okay, so as we know, in multivariable optimization problems, we have multiple variables to optimize. Instead of single variables, we have more than one variable. Okay, so we have some starting value, say x1. Okay, and then we have some search direction. Okay, so search direction may be like in previous example, in the case of Powell's method, we were having some search direction that we were trying to get optimum value in this in x1 direction, then x2 direction. Okay, then certain simultaneously is in x1 and x2. Okay, so same way we will we have some search direction in the case of Powell's method, and you can say that your search direction, your first search direction is s1, uh, then second search direction is s2, in which you are trying to, suppose you are having a function like this, and you are having some such direction s1 like this, s2 like this, s3 like this. Okay, so these are the search one direction where you will be searching the minimum value of your uh, given function, or optimum value of your given function. Okay, so yes. So you set your starting value as s1, then subsequent value you will set as s2, s3, okay, s4. Okay, so you can say suppose there are two coordinate system, then you can say there are two search direction s1 and s2. So as in two coordinate system, you can take s1 as 1, 0, 1, 0, and as you can take s2 as 0, 1. Okay, so this will correspond to x1 increment in x1, and this will correspond to increment in x2. Similarly, in search direction, second search direction, you can have increment in x1 as 0 and x2 as 1. And now after this, what we will try to find out, we will try to get the value of lambda in such a way that you are able to minimize your given function x1 plus lambda sn. Here sn is your search direction. It may be s1 or it may be s2. Okay, so this may be for search direction 1, this may be x1 plus lambda h1. Okay, and similar, yes. If it is given, then it is fine. Otherwise, you can choose any value. Uh, Okay, I will take one example. Then you will be able to understand. Okay, so this Sn is written. This will be for either for S1 or either for S2. Okay. Okay, I will demonstrate using one example I have taken. Okay, so after this, you will set the value of your x equal to x1 plus lambda star Sn1. Okay, so this value, once you set this value of x, and you take another variable, say z, third variable z, and you assign the value of x into z. From here, this is a flow diagram. From here you are coming here. Now you will set I equal to 1. Okay, I here for iteration number 1 you will set I equal to 1, and what you will check is I is equal to n plus 1. Suppose you are having two dimension variable x1 and x2, then what you will check, your for first, say for first case I will be equal to 1, and you will check whether it is equal to 2 plus 1, it means 3. So obviously 1 will be less than 3, so if it is not, then you will move in this direction. Okay, this flow diagram you will opt. After that, what you will do, you will try to get or you will try to find out the minimization of your fx plus lambda si. Okay, I will be demonstrating these steps just and I will again come to this flow diagram for more clarity. First, let us try to understand initial nomenclature, then we will try to know more about this algorithm. Okay, so after this, again we are checking whether the value of x is optimum or not. If it is not optimum, then we will again reiterate the same process. Okay, and suppose we reach at a point when your I is equal to n plus 1, then we will follow this set of rules. Okay, you will set Si equal to x minus p. Again you will find lambda to minimize x plus lambda si. So these are the two new steps which you may find new as compared to your previous methods. How we have to find out lambda, and how we have to decide si. Then you will set, obviously if you are able to minimize this value, then you will set new value of x which will be x plus lambda star si. Again we will check whether the value is optimum or not. If it is not optimum, then we will go to this step, that new set of new value of si, so which will be si plus plus 1. Okay, if it is optimum, then we will stop here. Anyway, in any of the loop, we need to reach this point, that is we will stop only when we are able to get the optimum value of your x. Okay, so I will directly switch to the example from this step, and we will come again to this flow diagram. Okay, let us move. Suppose we are having we want to minimize the function fx equal to x1 minus x2 plus 2x1 square plus 2x1 h2 plus x2 square, and we have some starting value it is given. Otherwise, if it is not given, you can choose yourself. Okay, So in order to minimize this function using Powell's method, we will set initial search direction because this is two-dimensional. Okay, so here n is equal to 2, and you will have here you will have two search direction. This is uh, one will be S1 and one will correspond to S2. Okay, so say for S1 you have 1 0, or for S2 you have 0 1. So as stated in your flow diagram, first you will try to find out the minimum along the search direction where S equal to Sn. Here it is written. You will try to find out, try to minimize, get the value of lambda and minimize this function. Get the value of lambda in such a way that your fx1 plus lambda Sn is minimized. Okay, so here Sn equal to S2 is equal to 0, 1, 0, 1, and your starting point will be obviously x1, which is your starting point 0, 0. So how you will minimize? You have such direction, say S2 in this particular function. This is your function, and you are trying to find out in such direction S2. You have S1 along x1. You have S2 along S2. Okay, so along x2 the such direction will be 0, 0, 1. How we will try to find out that in which direction your function is getting minimized? So what we will do, we will have some probe length, say probe length epsilon, it is equal to 0.0001. Okay, you may take it 0.1 or 0.001. Okay, depending upon your convenience you can take. So because your probe length, if your probe length is small, you will be able to get appropriate direction more appropriately, okay, or more accurately. So since this is in 2 decimal points, so it is more appropriate as compared to 0.10. Now what we will do, we will give a small increment in search direction by the probe length in your search directions. Say if you want to give in positive side, say this is your positive side, that is right hand side, and left hand side is your negative side. Okay, so if you want to give increment in positive direction, what you will get, x1 plus probe length multiplied by your search direction. Okay, so x1, if you try to solve this, x1 plus epsilon S2. So this will be your x1 is 0, 0, and epsilon is your 0.1, and your search direction is 0, 1, and this is 0. Okay, so if you solve it, it will come around 0, 0.0. So this will be the value of your x1 plus epsilon S2, and if you put these values in your given function, you will get the value of function in such direction in the given search direction, that S2 with some positive increment. Okay, so this is positive increment, and you are able to see that the value of your function f plus which is coming around minus 0.0099. I hope all of you are able to follow up to this point. You are trying, you have certain such direction, and you are giving some small increment in that particular direction, and you are trying to see the value of, or the changes in the value of your given function. I hope all of you are able to follow. If you are having any doubt, you can stop. You can ask. Otherwise, you will not be able to follow the remaining part of this portion. Okay. So now what we have to do, because we are probing in positive direction, what we will do, we will calculate the value of initial value of your given function, which is fx1. If you calculate the value of fx1, what is the value of fx1? Fx1 will be 0, 0. So this will be, this all terms will be 0. So your fx1 will be 0. Now compare the your value of fx1 with the value of function which you have find out in the probe direction. Okay, so you can see that there is an a decrement in the value of function. It means you are moving in the right direction, or you are moving in the yes. Yes. Huh. Huh. Yes. Yes. Huh. So in that case, what you will do, then you will move in the opposite direction. Instead of in positive side, you will choose this sign as negative in the next step. Then you need to calculate f minus. Okay. Yes. So in any side, you will, at least you will get some minimum value either in positive direction or negative direction. Since here by luck, yes, नेगेटिव में जाए तो हाँ हाँ, so it means that it means that we need to not to proceed in the algorithm. You have already got the optimum value. Okay, in any case our objective is to find out the optimum value. Okay. So if we are not getting optimum minimum value in any of the direction, it means we have already chosen optimum value by default. Okay. So yes. So because our objective is of solving all these problems, that we should get optimum value after using this Powell's method, after following this the steps given in your Powell's method. Okay, so if you are not getting any of any minimum value in either of the direction, that is positive or negative of S2, then you will do the similar check for S1 also. Okay, and if the same problem remains that you are not getting minimum value, it means you have already achieved your optimum value. You need not to go further. Okay. So I hope up to this point it is clear to all of you that if your new value is less than your previous value of a function, that is fx1, so you can say that you need to proceed in let me erase all. Okay, so it means you need to proceed in which such direction? S2 with positive sign, right? Okay, so now you need to find out the because it was a arbitrary problem. So now you need to find out the step length up to how much step you should move in S2 direction in order to get the minimum value, okay, or optimum value. So what you will do, so instead of epsilon, now you will put it as lambda, and now this your function will become x1 plus lambda s2. So because initially you started with very small problem, but now we are saying that the step to minimize your function in S2 direction is the step size is equal to lambda star. Okay, so how we will get the value of lambda? Let us try to understand. So this value of function will be now x1 plus lambda s2. So s2 is your 0 1. So this will be and x1 is 0 0. So these values will become now 0 lambda, 0 comma lambda. If you put these values in this equation, this x1 is 0, so all these term will be 0, and for x2 we have lambda, so this will be lambda square minus lambda. Okay, I hope you are able to understand how we have got this value lambda square minus lambda. Okay, for minimization of this particular, yes. हाँ 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 उस समय जो वैल्यू रहती है वही रखते हैं. Exact, we need to put the same value. Suppose we are having 2 comma 2. Okay, in that case we will this will become your this, suppose it is your 2 comma 3. If it is your first value, then your second will be lambda into 0 1. Okay, for convenience we have taken 0 comma 0 so that you are able to understand it easily. Otherwise what we will put, these values now become 2 and this will be 3 plus lambda. Okay, did you got what value we need to put now? This will be 2 comma 3 plus lambda. Okay, it does not matter. For for simplicity I have put so that you are able to calculate easily for in order to understand this algorithm. Okay, so if this has been the case, you would have done like this, right? Okay, so now focus on this. We have got the new value corresponding to this function, that is x1 plus lambda s2. This is lambda square minus lambda. Okay, and we want to minimize this particular value, that is we want to minimize lambda square minus lambda, because we want to get the minimum of this value. So what we will do, we will simply take the derivative of this function, that is fx x, say this is fx1 plus lambda, so I wrote it df over d lambda. Okay, simply take the derivative of your this particular function and equate it equal to 0. Okay, for in order to get maximum value, or sorry, minimum value of any function, what we do actually, we take the derivative of that particular function and we equate it equal to 0. If you equate it equal to 0, what will be the value? 2 lambda minus 1 equal to 0, which will become around lambda equal to 1 by 2 or 0.5. Is this step clear? This step will be done repeatedly. Okay, so I hope this is clear to all of you, that how you are calculating the value of lambda. Okay, first we are trying to find out the direction in which you will get the or the value of your function is supposed to decrease, or you can say you are trying to find out first you are trying to find out the direction in which your function is getting minimized. Okay, so we could find out that in the search direction S2, in the positive side, your function is getting minimized, and after that you are trying to find out up to what step you should move in order to get the minimum of the given function in that particular direction. Okay, so that step size is calculated, that is step size is given by lambda, and it is calculated by putting this expression x1 plus lambda s2, and this value of function is now minimized, and you take the derivative of your function and equate it equal to 0. Okay, so this you are able to, I hope you are able to understand that how we took the derivative of your new function, and we calculated the value of lambda equal to 1 by 2. So now we have new value of x2. X2 will be x1 plus lambda s2, because we have find out the value of lambda. We already know the value of s2. We have value of x1. Okay, so this value of x2, how it is calculated? This is x1 plus lambda s2. So x1 was 0, 0. If it is 2, 3, you can put 2, 3 or whatever value you are having. So then 1 by 2 plus 0, 1. So this will come equal to this 0, 0.5. So x1 will be 1 and x2 will be 0.5. So up to this point, I hope there is no doubt. Now, since we have got the minimum value of function in your S2 positive direction, now we will try to see the value of function, whether we will get any minimum or maximum value in S1 direction. So what was the S1 direction? S1 was 1, 0. We have we will try to minimize. This is wrong. This is particularly, this value is 0, 0.5. Okay, please do not get confused. This value is x2 equal to 0, 0.5. Okay, so we have got the value of S2, and now we will try to go in such direction, that is S1. So in order to compare the values of at any point in S1 direction, let us first calculate the value of function at x2. So your x2 is f2 equal to x2 0.00, 0.5. So this is coming around minus 0.25. I hope you will be able to calculate the value by putting the value of x2 in this function. Now repeat this process, that starting from point this x2, in which direction you should move in order to get the optimum value. So again we will have some probe length epsilon. So your probe length was 0.01. So your new value of your function in positive direction will be x2 plus epsilon s1. Okay, so if you put these values, this will be 0.001, 0.5. Okay, because your epsilon is getting multiplied into 1, and then it is getting added into x2. Okay, so this is 0.01, 0.50. If you calculate this value of function, So it is coming around minus 0.2298. So now try to see, previously in positive direction we could get the minimum value, but now this value is more than your previous value of f2. Okay, your existing point is having less value as compared to your new point. Okay, so it means that you will not get the minimum value in positive side of your S1 direction, right? I hope it is clear to all of you. Now what we will do, because we have not got the minimum value in positive direction, you will drop this. You will drop this direction, and what you will do, you will try to search the minimum value or the optimum value in opposite direction. Okay, so that is in negative, with negative problem. So now we have x2, we have new value of function, that is x2 minus epsilon s1. So here you will get the value of function, you will get the value of x1 and x2. These are minus 0.01 comma 0.50, and you are getting the value of function as minus 0.2698. If you compare this value with your value of function at x2, what you can see, this value is less than f2. Okay, since this value is less than f2, what you will do, you will move in the direction where you have got the new minimum value, or you are able to probe new minimum value of your given function. Okay, so now your new search direction will be minus s1. Again you will do the same step, that you will try to get the minimum step, the step size at which your function will be having the minimum value. Okay, so now you will your new function will be x2 minus lambda s1, which will be equal to minus lambda comma 0.50. so this is coming around 2 lambda square minus 2 lambda minus 0.25. Again, because you are supposed to get the minimum of this function, what you will do, you will take the first derivative and equate it equal to 0. So if you take the first derivative of again this particular equation, you will have 2 lambda minus 1 equal to 0. So again you will get the value of lambda, which is equal to 1 by 2. So you can now you can decide the third point, that is because you have got the value of lambda, you can decide the third point, which will be equal to x2 minus lambda into s1. So this is now coming, your x3 point is minus 0.5 comma 0.5, right? Any doubt up to this step? Any query? Okay, so we are able to find out the minimum value up to 0.3. Now what we will do, we will again try to find out the minimum value along your S2 direction. So again we will recheck whether with the same probe length, that is epsilon. Okay, so suppose we are giving certain increment in positive direction in x3 point, we are getting the new values of x1 new values. These are minus 0.5 comma 0.51, and if we see this is again less than your value of function which we have got at value x3. So we can say there is a further possibility to get the minimum value in positive S2 direction from X3. Okay, so again what we will do, we need to again decide the value of lambda in S2 direction. Okay, so again what we will do, we will start from X3 plus lambda S2. So this will be minus 0.5 plus lambda. If you put these values, your function will come lambda square minus lambda minus 0.75. Take first derivative of this, you will get df over d lambda equal to 0 equal. Okay, so at if you equate this first derivative, you take their first derivative, again your lambda will be 1 by 2. Okay, so this will give you the next value of your x4. So x4 is now x3 plus lambda s2. Okay, so you have got the new values of your x4, which is now equal to lambda into s2. Okay, so this is now 0.5. This is x1 and x2 is 1.0. Up to x4, I hope all of you are able to understand. Okay, so now let us try to see here, because your n was what was the value of your n was equal to 2, and this loop is continued. You are trying to find out the value of lambda star, and for first value, okay, so you are trying to find out the value of lambda star. How many times you are taking this? You have taken it 2 times. You have done it. So initially your I was equal to 1. Yes. Somebody is saying something. Okay. So what you can see here, if your x is not optimum, then you are again optimizing. You are trying to give increment in I plus 1, because you initial value of I was 1, and you have in your given problem till now you have optimized. You could not get the optimum value of x in 2 times. Okay, so the first, let me erase all for clarity. Okay, so the first I equal to 1 for first value, we tried to get the value of lambda here, and second time we could get the value of okay, just a second. Second time we could get the value of lambda 2, I equal to 2 here. Now we have I equal to 3 at this step. You will have I equal to 3 at this step, and your loop which is satisfied, which is 3 is equal to 3, that is I equal to 3 is equal to 2 plus 1, that is equal to 3. So here what you will do, you need to set the new search direction, that is Si equal to x minus z. So current value of your x, which is x4, okay, and what was the value of z? See, what was the value of z? Try to see from this loop. Let me erase all for clarity. After this first iteration, you got the value of x2. Okay, So this x2 is continued to this point, and you have z equal to x2. So here you have, in place of z you have x2, in place of x you have x4. Okay, so as soon as your I is equal to n plus 1, yes. अच्छा, यहाँ पर, अच्छा, हाँ 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 हाँ, ठीक 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 ठीक, okay. So I could get your problem. Okay, so you are saying that uh, because we have got the optimum value, we could have stopped, right? So let us try to understand whether we could get the optimum value or we could get only less value. Some decrement was observed, but it was not the optimum value. Let me tell you how. Okay, so this lambda is before entering into the loop. Okay, this is the value which we have got. This is x2. Okay, so this x2 is corresponding to which place in loop? It is corresponding to this place in loop. Okay, now you have set I equal to 1, and since I is less than your n plus 1, so what we will do, we will move further. Okay, so let us move here. Okay, so yes, so this is corresponding to x2. Now what we are trying to see, we are only trying to find out the search direction in which you can get the maximum or the optimum value, that is the minimum value. So in which direction you are getting the minimum value? Here you are getting, हाँ हाँ हाँ, वो that ठीक है, that I am coming. Okay, so once you did this, because after x2 you could find some minimum value, and after this step you also able to find some minimum value. Okay, so we how can we say that this is the minimum value? Because we are probing only at this particular values. Okay, so we have we have calculated the new value of your function at this particular point, and we have got certain value of x3. Yes, I could understand your question. First try to understand what we have done. Okay, so we have got the third value, that is fx3 equal to 0.75. You are trying to say why we have not stopped at this particular point. Okay. Yes. So because now we have two such direction, which was along S1 and along S2, and if you try to see what we did in order to check whether we have got the optimum value or not, we have two such direction, one is S1 and one is S2. So again we did a cross check at this point. We are checking that whether we have reached at the optimum point or not. We did the cross check and we found that there is still possibility to minimize this function further. You could see that your x3 is having larger value than the new value in the probe length. This is your probe length, epsilon, and you could see that you found a new value also in certain direction. Could you see that? जैसे ही हमने एप्सिलॉन मूवमेंट दिया x3 पॉइंट पर in positive direction, what we could see that there is a possible new set of value which is having which is less than your current set of current value of your given function. So it means your x3 is not optimum point. ओके, x3 से हम जो है ये एप्सिलॉन डायरेक्शन में मूव किए तो हमको एक मिनिमम वैल्यू मिली है, ये समझ में आया? Yes, so that is why your x3 is not optimum value. That is why we have continued this step. How we are checking whether it is optimum value or not? We will give increment in either in S1 direction or S2 direction. If these increment or decrement, the value is not changing, the value of function is not changing, then only we can say the your current the value which you have got of x is your optimum value. If there is further decrement, yes, yes. N is your number of variables. Okay, so how many variables are there? I said dimensions, so dimensions are your variable, you know, x1, x2, x3. There may be 3 variables also. In that case, that you will have such direction, you know, if there are 3 variables, you will have such direction. For x1 this will be 1 0 0. Okay, for s1 this will be 0 1 0. For S3 this will be 0 0 1. Now I hope you will be able to understand with more clarity. Okay, so this yes. So so here you can see the iteration which will go up to, because initially you are having I equal to 1, but it is getting increased every time whenever you are probing in any search direction. Okay, so as soon as you reach at a point when your I is equal to n plus 1, so after 2 times of iteration this will become 3, because it was already I equal to 1. So after 2 times of iteration it is becoming I equal to 3. So 3 is equal to 3. So yes, so what you will do, you will try to find the new search direction. Okay, only 5 minutes are there, so let me finish quickly this discussion, then we can have questions. Okay, so you have new set of search direction. Si will be x4, because this is your current set of values which you have got. This is now x4. And z, what is the value of z? Z you have got from here, so this was x1 plus lambda Sn, so this was basically x2. Okay, so this is x2 has been assigned in Z. So now your search direction will be xi equal to x4 minus x2. And again you will try to get the minimum value of your given function in such a way that x1 plus lambda si equal to you will equate it equal to 0, and you will get the value of lambda. Okay, let us finish this step quickly. Okay, so we could reach up to the point x4, and we found the new point which are equal to 0.5 and 1.0. Okay, after putting the value of lambda. Okay, so now your I is equal to 3, and your which is satisfying the termination condition of this particular loop, which is equal to n plus 1, which is equal to 3. So what we will do, we will have the new search direction. This search direction is called as pattern search direction. Okay, the first pattern direction will be as p1 x4 minus x2. So I hope you are able to understand why I have taken this pattern direction as x4 minus x2, because this is x minus z. Okay, and you can see the values of your x and z from the loop which was given above. X4 is your minus 1 by 2 1, and Z is your 0 1 by 2. Okay, so you have the pattern direction which is equal to 0.5 minus 0.5 comma 0.5. Now you will try to minimize your given function from x4 in your search direction. Okay, so your new search direction is sp1. sp1 is this value, and if you give some positive movement in your sp1 direction, say small step, that is epsilon, you will get these values. This will be x4 x1, this will be small x1, and this will be small x2. For x4, this will be for not for x4. Sorry. Okay, so you will get you will try to see the movement in positive direction, and you are getting the value which is equal to minus 0.004975, and the value of function at x4 is minus 1.0. so obviously this value is less, so we can say there is further possibility to minimize the function in this direction. Again you will repeat the same process, x4 plus lambda sp1, this will be this term. Now this is coming 0.25 lambda square minus 0.5 lambda minus 1. Again you take first the derivative of this expression. This will be df over lambda equal to lambda. The value of lambda is now coming lambda equal to 1. Since the value of lambda is equal to 1, you can find out the next point, that is x5, which will be now x4 plus lambda sp plus 1. I hope up to this point there should be no doubt, because these are the repeated kind of calculations. Now x5 at x5 what you will do, you will cross check whether you are getting any further minimum value of your given function beyond this point x5. Okay, so you can do cross check. You can give positive increment in s2 direction, and you can give increment in negative direction as well as positive direction. You can see the value of function at x equal to 5 is now minus 1.25. So if you give some small increment in s2 direction and s1 direction, as well as in positive side of s1 or s2, you are not getting value which is less than your current value of your given function, that is f5. If you are not getting minimum value from in any of the direction, then you can say you have got the optimum point, or you have got the optimum value. Okay, so this is all about Powell's method, how we calculate the optimum values or how we calculate the minimum of a given function using this particular function. Okay.